And
Are you listening?
Yeah.
who can beat me? Nobody can beat me.
Yes, I know. He always do some aggressive things against his opponent. When he faces off, he always,
he looks like a chimp, you know. He looks like a chimp. Bam, brother. Let's do some MMA chat, brother.
Hello, Henri. How are you? Let's do it, of course.
Very good. UFC 249 just got over. We have a few fights to actually present and comment about. For example, the first fight that was also maybe the most enthusiastic fight, Tony Ferguson against Justin Gaethje, right? You told me you saw that fight live, right?
Yes, I saw that fight live. I was amazed about this fight.
Yeah, big bout,
They were so aggressive to each other, you know.
They are both aggressive. You're saying both.
When you see some fights like that, you just watch and you don't have too much to think in that moment. That
because the actions are too fast.
You are so concentrated about that, and no one was knocking out, and the fight was so great. And it's the first time I see Justin Gaethje, you know, when he punched someone, because he punched so strong, you know, his punch
like
is so strong. Yes. Every time I watch Justin Gaethje, when he punched someone, he always knock him out, you know. But with Tony Ferguson, he couldn't. He just keep punching. But Ferguson just stay strong and stay up in all the fight.
According to me, Tony Ferguson, because he cut weight 2 times during 1 month. I don't know, maybe Ferguson was a bit slower than his average fights. Maybe losing weight has actually affected his performance. Do you think that losing weight can actually, you know, affect your performance somehow?
No, I don't think so, because he just lose her weight.
He lost weight 2 times during a month.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. But I think always if you get more fat, then it's more difficult for you to be not so resistant in the octagon, you know. But when you lose weight, I think it's more easy for someone that...
Yeah, but it's shocking for the body, you know. For the body, it's a bit shocking because it's just 1 month that you cut your weight and now you're fighting. So your body isn't 100% to actually keep it all, right? Because you also need to get used to it, right? For example, let's make an example. You are going to lose weight this month, 4 kilograms, okay? The very next month that hits June, it's not like you are going to be able to actually run a marathon, because you need some time to actually get used to that minus 4 kilograms, right? It's like a new body.
Of course, it's like a new body. But when you feel more easy and more light in your body, I think you will be more resistant, you know?
Yeah, sure.
That's why. But maybe it's like you say, because 2 times in 1 month, it's not normal.
Ferguson didn't do these things, right?
Yeah, I understand.
It caught him off guard, because also Ferguson was trained to actually fight Khabib, which uses different strategies to actually fight a guy, right?
Yeah, of course. But
I also heard the post-conference when Justin Gaethje said that, to be honest, I thought that Tony Ferguson would actually hit harder and be stronger, you know? But it wasn't like that.
Yes, I know what you mean. I just wanted to say that because...
He didn't have the right enthusiasm.
When I was watching the fight, I always think of, in that moment, why Tony is not using some jiu-jitsu skills or wrestling skills, because when you fight with the opponents, he always use too much jiu-jitsu skills or something like that. But with Gaethje, he never tried to use them, you know. He always trying to punch him, only punch him. But if you see, I think in the second round, Tony Ferguson, he almost got Gaethje, you know. But Gaethje was so lucky because in that moment the round finished, you know.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Yeah. The only reason I wanted that Ferguson win against Justin Gaethje is because I want to see Ferguson against
Khabib.
You know, because with Justin Gaethje, we both know, not just me and you, but everyone know that Justin Gaethje, he can't win with Khabib, because I'm sure Khabib is going to use wrestling skills against Gaethje, you know. But with Tony Ferguson, it's not so easy to use your wrestling skills.
Yeah, because Tony uses some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Of course.
He's very mastered at it.
And,
yeah, right.
Yeah, he's really master of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's really good about that.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to see Khabib versus Ferguson.
When you see the character of Tony Ferguson, that he's a straight-up guy, he's going to beat you if you go straight at him, right? He's not going to run, like Adesanya, for example.
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson is not very mature. Like, for example, Tony Ferguson against Justin Gaethje should have been more calm. When he saw that Justin Gaethje is such a straight-up boxer, right? Because Justin Gaethje is very good at boxing, you shouldn't go straight at him, because he's going to damage you, right? And Justin Gaethje showed that he could actually damage you very, very hard. And you know, Tony Ferguson and his team, they all know that Justin Gaethje hits like a truck. So you shouldn't go at Justin Gaethje in front of him, right? Maybe you should use another strategy, but not go straight at Justin Gaethje. We saw that Khabib actually used the wrestling skill to win over Dustin Poirier, because if it's at boxing, then you are lost, man. I mean, Justin Gaethje, for example, when he lost to Dustin Poirier, he lost because of being such a child, right? Dustin Poirier is so good at boxing, and maybe Justin Gaethje thought, so you're so good at boxing, right? Then let's do just boxing. And
yes,
this is
always
actually,
is like that. Yes, I know. Yes, and the people, that's want to see the people, you know. This is more beautiful, more attractive. And more also, enthusiasm, and you are more emotional, you know.
And also this got Tony to actually also lose the fight. So I think losing weight 2 times in a month, being older, because he's like 37 years old, right? So
I know.
Age does its own thing. And also staying in front of Justin Gaethje.
If you see closely, Justin Gaethje was so smart when he fought against Tony Ferguson, because more than 3 or 4 times that Gaethje was so close with Ferguson, and in that moment, Ferguson was in uppercut. He was not so good in conditions, you know. And Justin Gaethje, he never tried to catch him, but he always pushed him again, you know, pushed him away.
Just hitting him, just
pushed him away, and he get closer, and bam, you know. Yeah. He was so smart in that moment. But I think with Khabib, this doesn't work, you know.
Yeah, you said it. Said it very good. He was sharp in his mind and in his style, just engaged. Tony Ferguson just wasn't there. Just wasn't that sharp, right? He was, was a bit confused. Like, I was prepared for 6 months to fight Khabib, and now this crazy guy comes in front of me and wants just to punch me. Then I'm going to punch him back and show who's the best.
Yes.
Man, is this the end of Tony Ferguson?
In that moment, I was thinking so that Ferguson, I think he gonna say, for me it's over now and I will not fight anymore or something like that. But we know Tony. Everyone knows Tony, you know. Tony is so strong and is
unpredictable.
Yes.
Also, we know that Yoel Romero is 43 years old and he is in such a beast shape. So why not? Why not? Yeah, sure.
For me, it's 50-50.
Yeah. Okay, man. Now let's move on to another fight of that night. It was about Henri Cejudo, the Triple C King, against Dominick Cruz.
I don't really know Dominick Cruz. It was the first time I see Dominick Cruz to fight, you know. Yeah. Anyway, it was a good fight because I see against Cejudo and he fight very well.
Yeah, let's just watch the highlights just to recap it a little bit, just also for the audience.
Okay. He know when to forward and when to move back. He always know. He's so smart.
Yeah, he's a very good athlete. Yeah, it seems like he has all the experience in the world.
Yes. Look now.
Did you see that knee?
Yeah. This is the moment he win. He won. But look at that. 1 more. 90% Henri Cejudo could have won this fight.
Yeah, sure.
But it was not this moment, you know?
You would like actually to see a little more, yeah.
Yes.
And actually, the only thing that would make me think that Henri Cejudo is the real champ, to be honest, is to actually fight what we saw recently, Ryan Garcia, the famous boxer who is just 21 years old and is like a real champ, let's say 19 wins, 17 KOs, like he's a beast. And you saw those things in Twitter, right? Do you think that Henri Cejudo would give me a good fight in the boxing ring? Cejudo then reacted like fired up to this tweet and said,
it was Cardelaroya
wanna be, yeah. I would make you banned in your own sport, like in boxing, you know?
Yes, of course.
Dana White allow me to fry this fish. I mean,
why you have to ask Dana White?
To sign a hell of a good money contract, man.
He can sign by himself.
I don't know, maybe it works better if something more official comes up.
You can sign with Dana White when you have your contract still with UFC, but you don't have anymore your contract with UFC. You are retired now.
But if he fights and wins against Ryan Garcia, a legit boxer, then yes, I would say I'm going to take off my hat and say that Cejudo is the real Triple C, right? You
say that if he's going to win against Garcia, then he's a real champ.
Yeah,
he's real champ now.
Yeah, but just 15 matches in MMA doesn't make you really the king, you know? For example, Fedor Emelianenko
you're right.
has like 45 matches. Come on.
I know that. This is not, and nowadays this is not good because it's not only Cejudo with a little fight, you know?
Yeah, I know. Khabib also, yeah.
I think for every fighter, it will be good
to have at least 2 fights per year.
At least, okay. But maybe it was better 3 fights per year. It was better, you know.
Ryan Garcia, the boxer, which is just 21 years old, right now has up to 19 matches, professional. So it's
see
flat,
that?
right? Yeah.
It's
a lot of experience. So he's very rough in the ring, right? He has a lot of experience. You see Anthony Joshua, man, that a lot of people actually endorse him like a real champ. He's not a real champ. Come on. You are 31 years old and you just have how many matches? 24 matches? 24 professional boxing matches? That's shit, man. That's nothing.
Really,
I mean,
it's nothing, really nothing.
24 matches, 24 fights? Come on, man. You're not a fighter. A fighter should have cuts in his face like that, you know?
Yes, of
should
course.
have scars. For example, Nate Diaz had 3 fights under 6 months just to fight against Khabib. That's what you call blood. That's what you call fight, right?
Yes, and everyone know that he's a real fighter when they see how much and many times
Yeah.
But not so. Khabib had the opportunity to fight against Ferguson 3 times and he 3 times avoid this fight. And I don't know why he always avoid the fight against Ferguson. I don't know that.
In my opinion, Khabib Nurmagomedov is a very good fighter, okay? But I don't respect him for this decision making on, hey, I'm not going to fight because of COVID situation and we don't have to show bad examples of doing things that other sports are not doing. I mean, it's not your right to actually justify the fight because of COVID. It's the right of Dana White, the president, to justify avoidance of this fight, not you. You are a fighter, man. You don't have the right to talk like a president. It's not your duty. Dana White is the one that should actually justify and avoid the fight because of the situation, but not you. As Conor McGregor said, Khabib chickening out first. So it was Khabib who actually said, you know what, guys, I'm not going to do this fight because of COVID situation.
Yes, I know.
In other words, let's only be the champ, and I'm just leaving this match up to, to a new champ.
You're right, I know that, but I don't know why Dana White is so sweet with Khabib, he always so sweet. Yes, Khabib, if you want okay, for me it's not problem. What do you want? What else, Khabib? Do you want something else I can do for you? Don't worry, Khabib. I don't know why, but he always is so sweet. And if you watch carefully, in that moment, you see Cejudo when he announced that I'm going to retire now because his reason, I don't know. I don't remember the reason why he wanted to retire, but he say thank you to Dana White, something like that. And if you watch closely Dana White, his reaction was like that. Yeah, no problem. So how can I say it? He didn't see that coming. You know, he didn't see that coming. He was so wow.
No man.
Why is saying like that? Why? He never said me this before, you know.
No. Actually, Dana White knew about this stuff because.
You think so?
Yeah, because I saw the post conference after the fight. Okay, and a journalist asked Dana White, "What did you think about Henri Cejudo retirement?" Right, and he said that Henri Cejudo, for the over past 6 months, had actually told about this idea of leaving the sport.
Yes, I know that.
Wanted just one.
We hear that. Everyone hear that you always say that he maybe is going to retire, but not now. It was not the good moment. It was.
Dana White said that I'm happy for fighters to actually leave this sport because it's very brutal, right? And I'm happy about Cejudo, but of course I'm not happy for the sport because fighters like this that give everything in the cage, it gives you money and it gives you a lot of business allocation, right?
Yes, of course.
But actually, Dana White knew about this, and well, what you can do? Henri Cejudo accepted a last fight. He did it. Henri Cejudo said that, my nephews are actually 25, 27 years old, so they are big, he said. And I want to get down to my personal life. I've made a lot of money. I've been in sports since wrestling. So now I just want to get back to normal life. I'm having a baby, he said. Cejudo is a very good guy. Against his ego, he's like, he thinks that he is the best, and he's always here that I'm the best, and he's here. Who can beat me? Nobody can beat me.
Yes, I know. He always do some aggressive things against his opponent. When he faces off, he always,
he looks like a chimp, He looks like a chimp, So in one thing, he's very selfish. Okay, he's very selfish. I'm the best. Nobody can beat me. I'll show you. Also against Ryan Garcia, I don't care. And I really hope that Henri Cejudo goes in the ring with Ryan Garcia, because if he goes in the ring with Ryan Garcia, just with boxing, and Henri Cejudo beats Ryan Garcia, then, as I said, I'm going to take off my hat and say,
yes,
Henri Cejudo,
of course.
You are the champ,
Me too.
You are the strongest man in the world.
Yes, of course.
Looked incredible tonight.
The retirement take you by surprise? I mean, did you have any inkling that maybe that was coming?
Yeah, he's been talking about retirement to us for the past several months. I didn't know he was going to do it tonight, but I knew he's been talking about it. And my opinion on that. If you start talking about retirement in this business, it's probably a good idea. Although I think he's one of the best in the world, right? He looked incredible. And say what you want about Dominick Cruz and his layoffs and all this other stuff. Cruz is a badass fighter with a very high fight IQ and very motivated to win, et cetera, et cetera. And tonight was a big win for Cejudo.
So you heard Dana White talking about that he actually knew about the retirement, that Henri Cejudo has talked over the past several months that he wants to actually quit the sport after one last fight, or just he wasn't expecting it to be tonight, but he knew it. It was going to happen.
Yes. So we all heard him say Cejudo. He every time spoke about his retirement,
Yeah.
I will. For example, in Albania, if you have balls, you have to say that before the match, When his press conference before the match, you can say, this it will be my last fight, But he is afraid to announce that.
Look at it this way. If you say something like that, it's actually going to weigh in your shoulders a lot, because you actually have to win that fight then by doing everything, by giving it out, right? So he didn't want that psychological side, so he didn't say it.
Anyway, Cejudo is retired now, and I will talk a little bit about Cejudo and Garcia. If this happens, it will be amazing. But Cejudo is really good boxer. If you see Cejudo, he has some good skills.
Yeah, he uses
about
jabs.
boxing.
He uses jabs. He's very well
he's
trained.
Really
he moves
good.
very agile.
When he move in octagon, when you see Cejudo, he looks like boxer there. He looks like boxer, not like a MMA fighter, you know?
He closes in very, very well.
Yes, I know. It's really good, but of course it's not the same as the real boxing, boxer like Garcia, you know, because Garcia is a really good professional boxer.
Something happens between those two men. I'm going to be very, very happy to see that fight.
Everything happens, you know.
It's going to be much, much better than Mayweather
and for me, yes, of course. For me, if he win against Garcia, then I will, yes, of course,
take the hat off.
The head off.
Okay, man. Now let's talk a little bit about Francis Ngannou.
No. Sorry, he's not a guy. He's not human.
The beast, the freak from Cameroon.
Yes.
Before you talk anything about Francis Ngannou, I want to give you some information about it. 2 days ago, he did a podcast with Mike Tyson, Hot Boxing.
Tyson, yes.
And he said that until 26 years old, he was just hanging around trying to work different jobs to give some money for his family. He used to live in Cameroon. Yes. By the age of 22, he immigrated to France. In that place, in France, is where he actually was presented to MMA. Francis Ngannou, when he was back in Cameroon, in a village in Cameroon, he had heard about Mike Tyson, but he didn't have any TVs there, right? So they just have heard about Mike Tyson and these other freak boxers, but never watched them, right?
Yes.
And the dream of Francis Ngannou has always been to be a boxer. He didn't actually matter much the MMA to him. MMA was just something, okay, I'm going to do it, but my dream is to become a heavyweight undisputed boxer, right? So when he went to France, he was saying, this is where they presented me with MMA. And I was like, okay, I don't know what is MMA. Tell me what is MMA, but I don't care about that. I just care about boxing.
Yeah.
And so he started MMA just because of the money. So he started MMA, and after 4 months of training, he got his first pro fight. So just after 4 months, he got his first pro fight. And
that's good. And that's why I think it was good to accept this, because in boxing, you can't fight so fast, you know? You can fight so really fast.
Boxing, man, in my opinion, requires a lot of skills. To be honest, I've been to boxing. It requires a lot of things. In MMA, you can also be a bit of a mess and just throw punches, take down opponent, you know, different stuff. So you are more versatile. But in boxing, you need to actually master those skills with jab.
Yes, of course. But you have to know something, because if you are talented about this, some people, they burn like this. And I think if Francis Ngannou is so talented and is so natural, he was born in that way, you know. I think in boxing, to be fighter. I think in the boxing too, he would be a good fighter. But now he's in MMA and still.
Yeah, but wait a second. Mike Tyson asked him, so what is your next project? So what are you doing to do with your life? He said that, you know, my dream is still to be a boxing champ. He doesn't care much about MMA, you know. He wants to be a Mike Tyson freak, you know. He wants to be the boxing undisputed champ, heavyweight. His manager said that nobody wants to sign a contract right now in MMA to fight against Francis Ngannou.
And so, I think it's true.
Mike Tyson said, what you can do is to call people out. Like, I'm right here. Come. If you can beat me, you'll get that money. Because if nobody wants to fight you, you need to ask for the money. And Mike Tyson started to be ridiculous and was saying that, what should I do to actually you give me a chance to fight you? Should I break my arm? Should I break my leg? Should I cut my veins? So you can have the chance to fight against me. Like he was proposing to Francis Ngannou, if nobody wants to fight against you, you need to close the fight out.
Yes.
Because look at the situation. Francis Ngannou won against Jairzinho, right?
Oh, yeah.
Before Jairzinho, he fought against Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have the DC against Stipe Miocic to actually do the trilogy fight, the third fight. So Francis Ngannou is in a place where he can't actually fight any of these two guys, because these two guys are actually going to have a fight, like a last fight, right? So Francis Ngannou is staying here doing nothing now.
Doing nothing.
Basically doing nothing. Now, if we travel back in time, Francis Ngannou has actually fought in 2018 Stipe Miocic.
Really?
And yes, and has lost. Yeah, Stipe Miocic has won. You haven't seen that, right?
No. Really?
Yeah.
Show me that.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
But wow, I didn't know that.
Stipe wasn't even hitting him. He was just resting on the back of Francis Ngannou.
Wow.
I'm going to let you carry my weight. I'm going to let you hit a lot harder.
Man, I want you to watch this because I want to say something after this.
And I think that really was the strategy that truly paid off. Francis Ngannou just did not have an answer. He was tough to get up, but just wasn't able to do it efficiently. And Stipe.
Wow.
And now just remember how Francis Ngannou's style of fighting is, because I want to show you against Junior Dos Santos, because I have a conclusion about his dream about boxing.
Yes, but with Junior Dos Santos, in which year they fought?
They fought I guess in January.
When they fought? Sorry, when they fought?
I guess they fought during January, man, something like
January.
that. January or December 2019, something like that. It's his last fight before he actually fought Jairzinho a week before.
In his own right, but he needs to get those hands a little tighter, if you ask me.
He also said to the Mike Tyson podcast, he said that if Tyson Fury gives me a chance to fight him, I would actually welcome him and fight him, because I would love to show my boxing skills. Now, here's my take. In my opinion, Francis Ngannou is not good at the boxing skills. Francis Ngannou punches are in this way. Pow, pow.
Yes.
If you fight,
I know that.
If you fight Tyson Fury is here. Pam, pam. He's going to kill you, man. He's going to kill you. He's going to cut your face, man. You cannot beat Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is a boxer. Boxers punch like that, you know? They don't lose time. If you go here, the boxer will go with here, you know? He's here,
and he's faster than you.
If you go here, you are all discovered. You are all opened. You know, you are here. Bam!
Yes.
You know,
yes, it's true.
Bam, bam. No, there is no way.
You don't have time to do like that in boxing. I know.
I'm very, very sorry about Francis Ngannou to actually think that he could actually become a heavyweight boxing champ. To be a boxer is way difficult than MMA, man. Boxing
I know that.
requires a lot of time. I mean, you cannot start MMA at 27 years old and to be expected to be a boxing champ. You can never do that. Boxers that have actually been so great, Lennox Lewis, Tyson Fury, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, all these guys have started boxing when they were 14 years old, man. And they have the agility, they have the positions. They're always...
Yes, of course.
Francis Ngannou, also against Dos Santos, also against Jairzinho, punches like that. And just for the audience, let me share it again, against his last fight against Jairzinho. Just to see Francis Ngannou, his fighting style is very, very, very weak when compared to boxing.
Yes, of course, I know that.
Those with a fighting spirit, Ngannou is in black, Rozenstruk is in gray. Early inside leg kick is there for Biggie Boy.
Look at him. Look at him. Here is against. This is the last fight against Rozenstruk.
Yeah,
you know?
Jairzinho. Yeah, Jairzinho.
Yeah.
Watch it again, just for the audience and the two of us.
Early inside leg kick is there for Biggie Boy.
Look at him. Look at him. Yes, I know that.
Look, there is no doubt that he has a lot of power, okay? He has a lot of power. He has destructive power like a train. Bam, bam. But with a boxer, he doesn't give you the chance, because in a boxing, this is very, very long, and I can keep the distance with you, and as you threw that, which will take you 1 second, in 0.2 seconds, I can actually create a distance and actually kill you. So his jabs are not good. In boxing, the first thing, 70% of your work is always with your left or your right if you're a lefty, because you are always jabbing, bam, 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 You, in boxing, if you see somebody do that, he cannot win the fight, He's just a street fight.
No. In boxing, when you do something like that, it's just only one word. You are too late, man. You are too late.
You are too late. You are too late, and you are going to get knocked down, man, because you are completely open.
Of course.
And so the uppercuts are boxing. To me, he doesn't have any chance in boxing, but in MMA, he could be a champ.
Yes.
But as you saw, Stipe Miocic actually killed him.
Yeah, and
took him down, bam, 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 bam. So come on, man.
I'm so surprised about that because I didn't know it. I always think about that, and I was thinking that Stipe Miocic win against Francis Ngannou because Francis Ngannou is really aggressive in octagon, But Stipe Miocic is not so aggressive in the octagon. Stipe Miocic is so tactical, technical,
Yeah, very calm guy.
Yeah, very calm guy, and I always think about that. It will have no time to fight or to do some tactical, technical against Ngannou because it will have no time about that because Francis Ngannou is so aggressive and so fast.
Very crazy.
But you saw in the last fight, I was in front of the TV and I was watching, the fight has just begun, I have my mobile in my hand and someone write to me and I was...
Francis Ngannou, down,
No, someone write to me and I was texting him back, and I said with myself, the fight has just begun, so I have too much time to write to my friend, and when I start to text back, I just hear in my TV that, oh my God, I said, what the fuck, what's happened? The fight finished, oh shit, I didn't see nothing, I just watched only the replay moment because I couldn't watch, and I was thinking always, oh my God, if he fought against Stipe Miocic, or Cormier, of course, will win. But now that I see against Miocic,
now you have doubts, right?
Yes, and I have to say about Stipe Miocic, is really, really good champ. Is great champ, and I have to take my head off.
Take your hat off,
to Stipe Miocic,
Yeah, no, Stipe Miocic is a very good guy, respectful. He doesn't talk much. I like that way. And as I saw the podcast of Mike Tyson with his guest, Francis Ngannou, Ngannou is a very good guy, man. Very, very good, and he said that his dream is to become actually a boxing champ. He's having good money with, with MMA.
Boxing champ, he have no chance to be. But
yeah, me too. I think so, man. Because we have seen.
I wanted to object you in some moments against about Francis Ngannou, but I don't have nothing to say against what you say.
Yeah, because we know the truth.
Every word agree with what you say.
Yeah, man. That's sadly that's the truth.
Yes.
In my opinion. Francis Ngannou can do two things. Can either challenge Tyson Fury, to a fight, and so he can actually forget about boxing and focus just on MMA, Because if he really wants to become a long-lasting fighter, he can do that. You have Yoel Romero, who is 42, 43 years old, and he is still fighting. So if you want to have money and if you want to show the real champ in MMA, just like Fedor Emelianenko for 10 years straight, do it, man. Do we have the balls?
But
do it.
I think Romero is not in the heavyweight.
No, I'm just saying that the age is not a factor.
Yes,
but,
of course.
But if you are doubting you want to become a champ in boxing or MMA, try out with a boxer, with Tyson Fury, and you'll see how far you are with boxing and how close you are actually with MMA. So, in my opinion, Francis Ngannou should stick and give 100% in the MMA cage, okay? Should forget about boxing. And if Francis Ngannou is hearing this, forget about boxing. I'm just being true.
Yes, I know.
This is the truth. This is the reality, man. I mean, I don't want to lie and say that, yes, you have the chance, brother, because you are very strong. You have a lot of power. You hit that like a track. Your opponent gets lost just before entering the ring. But in boxing, it's not the same thing. Boxers use different skills, they use jabs. If you don't know how to throw a jab, you cannot learn that when you are 32 or 33 years old. It's very late. But with MMA, you can be a little boxer, you can be a little wrestler, you can be a little kickboxer, a little Muay Thai. So with MMA, you are better because you're a big guy. You can scare people out. But in boxing, a boxer, man, I've been in boxing, and boxers don't care how big you are, because they will just throw you a jab and your tongue will just go down and you'll be here.
You will just go into sleep.
Yeah, so what are your predictions about UFC 250? So do you see Conor versus Diaz, the trilogy, the third final bout to actually happen?
I don't think so, because no one is talking about this anymore, and I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think they laid behind this, and I don't know.
Okay, yeah, me too. I think so, because
it will be wonderful for me if this happened, but I don't think so.
In my opinion, man, they should have a third final bout, just because of the reason, because we have Justin Gaethje to fight now Khabib.
Yes.
So if you don't want to lose time, make yourself very, very worth it by fighting a very grinded fighter like Nate Diaz. Kill Nate Diaz and be ready to fight the champ between Justin Gaethje and Khabib. So do that, what people likes to see, a third fight, and then fight who is going to fight.
Yes, but I think it's not only Diaz here, it's Masvidal too. Masvidal win.
Yeah, he is also waiting in the row. So there's a big line. So that's what I'm saying. Fight Nate Diaz, do a third fight, and let's see what happens, because now you don't have any chance to fight Khabib or Justin Gaethje, because you are not qualified.
Yes, of course. He just won against Cowboy Cerrone, so doesn't mean that you have to fight the champion if you win against Cerrone.
And you cannot fight also Masvidal, because Masvidal just beat Nate Diaz. So you have to fight Nate Diaz if he wants. If Nate Diaz doesn't want, then okay, go fight Masvidal.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Now, next fight that I'm assuming in the 250 to be Paulo Costa against Adesanya. This is a well-expected match.
Yes.
This could also be a main event, may actually be the UFC 250, because it will be a hell of a fight. I mean, Paulo Costa, man, a truck, a beast against Adesanya, the champ. And I guess it's going to be a good fight, and actually can also be titled as the UFC 250 event.
And I think with Costa, fighter like that,
it's a different animal,
different animal, I know, but it was the same thing I was thinking about Romero. Romero is so aggressive, he's so great fighter, and he will never do something like that to just walking in the octagon and not fighting and something like. So just only like that. So why you do that?
Magarena.
Just go and kick him if you can. And I hope so not to happen this anymore. I hope so not to happen the same thing. If this happen again, I will quit and I will watch not anymore MMA fight. We'll
watch Maria Sharapova playing tennis.
Yes, if Costa, it will be aggressive as we always see Costa, then it will be a good fight, and I think it will be the same with Jairzinho with Ngannou for 3 seconds. For 3 seconds, the fight will be over. You know.
Do you see Stipe Miocic against DC Daniel Cormier to be the main event of 250 UFC 250?
Maybe, but.
So which is
to be honest, I didn't know that will. I just heard that they will do the trilogy.
Yeah, they will do it. Yeah,
or not they will do. I did not heard that they will do, but I heard that they are talking about to do this, but they were not sure.
They will definitely do it because Francis Ngannou is waiting.
Because I am for Miocic. I think Miocic, he will going to win again. Miocic. And I like too much Miocic.
Me too, man. And you know,
he's really good type. He's really good man, and he's really man. He talk little and he say always real, not fake and not so blah blah blah. Nothing,
you know what's his part-time job other than MMA?
No.
He's a firefighter.
Really?
Yeah, he's a hero, you know, because in America, people who actually work as firefighters are considered real heroes.
So that showed to us that he has a good heart and he is really good person. He's really good human, good man. You know?
He's a good man, yeah. Totally, yeah.
I don't know if you see or not, but it was one fight more in that night. Jeremy Stephens against... I don't remember the name, but her name was Kattar. Did you see that fight?
No, I didn't see the highlights, to be honest. No.
It was really good.
It was bloody fight?
Yes, and of course Jeremy Stephens is a good MMA fighter. He fights really good against Kattar. But
I know, he's also a boxer, kind of.
Yes, boxer, is really good. But this man, it was so fast. Wow. His punch was so fast, so you couldn't see. You just see that moment his punch was here. But the way of the punch to go in
the face was very, very fast.
Stefan's face, you couldn't see it. You just see it here and boom. Stefan's knockout, you know?
You have to do some slow motion with your camera to actually see it.
It was really fast. And I saw that in the beginning of the fight, because he tried so many times, and when I saw the speed of his hands, I thought, what the fuck?
You were surprised, yeah.
Yes, I was so surprised, and I think, who the fuck is that guy, you know?
Who the fuck are you?
I was waiting in every moment for Stephens to be knocked out, you know, because I was thinking he's so fast, and if he's not in the other time,
going to take him down,
yeah, he's going to take him down.
Did you see, because UFC this last week had 2 more fights, one on Wednesday and one yesterday. Yesterday it was a fight between Overeem and Harris. Only experienced man, but what we talked on the last podcast together, cardiovascular system. If you cannot breathe, I mean, even a child can actually murder you, you know?
I know.
You don't have, you're dying, man. You're dying.
I know that.
No, you saw that fight, man. Overeem won because he has more experience. And let's face it, cardiovascular system of Harris was shit, man. Was shit. Mm-hmm. He needs to check his cardiovascular training plan, and he needs to do some real training to actually fight more than 1 round in MMA, because he was there just for the first 2 minutes, then he died. So
I know. I always said if you don't have cardiovascular, you are nothing. Not only in boxing, but in every sport, cardiovascular is number 1.
If you have endurance, man. If you
endurance, and if you have your cardiovascular is
system,
in good conditions, then you
have a lot of chances to actually,
of course, to stand up to win, because if you are so good in cardiovascular, you have time to think, you have time to do, because when you think something to do, you can do it. But if you are so tired, your cardiovascular is so low, you think but you